everyone, and thanks for checking out my channel. Going to do the usual checkup midweek on the markets, looking at a few commodities, looking at crude oil, natural gas, and the precious metals, silver and platinum. That's the main markets I've been active on. Also, we'll have a look at WTI. I didn't actually trade so much because it's been relatively flat and low volatility. So yeah, let's get started with WTI. So we're still moving inside some sort of a rising wedge. I keep actually changing the lower end as it's moving and keep on breaking all the levels, but still staying above the 20 daily MA. So far the bull trend is still valid. Of course, we're still having that major divergence on the daily chart, but the problem is that all the time we're hitting the trend line, as we can see here. That happened again, I think it was last week. Then he retracts quite significantly lower, and he's got some more room to actually push higher. So at that point, I believe we still have a chance to break that lower time frame trend line, which is running here. It's been tested a couple of times, and we are now almost forming some sort of a triangle that will seek resolution very likely today. Either that will break down and look for a retest of the 20 daily MA, so it's running roughly at 40.5, or it's gonna break out and go and seek the daily 200 MA. I believe at this point, even if it doesn't look extremely bullish from a fundamentals point of view, we might still do that last leg up. And should we actually manage to break above this, and then we are reaching the 42.8, and then I will complete the figure up, then we can actually start looking at accumulating short position for a proper sort of, not necessarily bear market really, but some new trend down, and potentially having that bullish price action we've seen invalidated. Of course, there's a lot of work to do for that, and we need to invert on that daily divergence and make another point attempting here. So that's roughly another move of $1, at least, potentially even more. That's why I think the 42.8 could be a valid target, and it could actually come relatively soon, within a week or two max, and then we may have to look at shorting opportunities. Looking at natural gas has a significant rally, as I was expecting. We got the usual gap filling down to 1.78, but the sellers couldn't get any momentum to the downside. I was actually attempting to short natural gas on the basis of that quite significant divergence we got on the 1 hour, and these points especially were unable to actually get any momentum, but the momentum did catch up today and breaking the trend line up, which I think, depending on how these candles will end, might actually potentially point for a move to continue higher and look for the daily 200 MA that is sitting very close. I think that point will be extremely difficult to pass here, and very similar to what we got at the previous test. I think that was the one here. Yep, I don't have the daily MA here, but I was running at 2.12 here, and I'll be looking at a similar divergence we had here. Just checking the RSI, we can see here that we had from that point at 2.12, 2.15, a very sharp divergence on that top here. I'll be looking for something similar to happen, very likely near $2. Nothing, in my opinion, fundamental to allow for this to push much higher than this. There should be a nice short opportunity to actually get back down and make another attempt to clear the gap. Of course, this will not drop in one way. Should it drop, and we're gonna see potentially some more consolidation in that area, 1.8 will be a significant support. Moving on, so we might see some other bonds on the way, depending on the weather, of course, for finally potentially breaking down lower. got 1.6 as a first target, but I think the 150 will not be too far away. Looking at the precious metals, has been very interesting to trade this week. Of course, we got that massive bull run on silver I was mentioning, I think over the weekend, and it continued this week with a major gap up on Monday, and continuation of the move until it reached the key level at 26 when it got rejected. So there was a nice short opportunity here, and from that point I'll be looking now at two options. The first one is of course to enter long position on a significant pullback. I'll be looking on the 4 hours here, potentially looking at the break lower to 23. That could be interesting. We got the 4 hour 50 MA that's running there. On the daily, I would be equivalent here. Depends when it gets there, if it does get there of course, but it could be near the 20 MA on the daily. I think given the momentum we had, it will continue to push significantly higher from here, but it will have to pull back lower first. If we look at the 1 hour, we're still having that trend line that's supporting the move from now, but the breakdown will definitely bring it to 23, and potentially we could get extension to 21.6. Potential long entry point at 23, potential long entry point at 21.6. Now, should we break higher, which is still possible when we look at the divergence, that one is the hourly, there's plenty of room to make another touch and another attempt, and potentially a double top at 26. Not too comfortable trading that leg up, given the divergence could actually reverse, but opening short position at 26 should we get the right signal and fail to break above the trend line on the RSI could be very interesting as well, for of course pull back down lower at least to 23, so we'll make it for a decent trade. Now finally looking at platinum, a bit of the same configuration. We've got a massive run up that is running out of steam here. We've got the first divergence on 960, but the origin is somewhere at 910, so I believe as well here that we're going to revisit that level 910, which is looking on the 4 hours, sorry, no, potentially on the daily. Yep, on the daily we'll be looking at the 20 MA running there at 900. Should it break lower, which is still of course possible, given platinum it can be very volatile, it could actually go back down to 860. 860, that would be a fantastic opportunity to open a long position and would clearly invalidate the divergence, but I think 910 will already give some buying signal there. Would be only an extension down to 860. Not looking too short platinum, be only looking at re-entering long on that market. So yeah, that's all for that checkup. If you have any suggestion about another market you want me to check, I'm looking the one I'm trading the most, but of course there's some others that could be interesting as well. I'll have a closer look at the precious metals over the weekend again, because I think there's a very big potential for this to move higher in August. So positioning long on this, but not FOMOing in and trying to avoid getting caught at the top, trying to catch the price just before it reversed. Definitely something valuable to do, and I'll be planning this for August. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching the video, and I speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.